So at the end of the segment, you promised me you're going to give a prediction. You've already given one, but I want to know if you're going to hold to that. But the bigger picture to you, what has convinced you about your prediction is what?
Well, look, you can do the calculation as Karl Rove does it, and I believe every word. I mean, I agree with his analysis from the micro view, state after state. But I want to do it from the macro view. People say the national vote doesn't count. Well, technically, yes, but it's very important understanding what's happened. Last Monday, a week ago, Romney had won this race if it had ended on Monday night.
Correct.
He was up 4, 5, 6 in the national polls. You can't be up that much nationally and not win the college. I don't care how you slice it or dice it. Then something happens. Then you get the October surprise, which is devastating to Romney in this sense. And we know this empirically, because in the national polls where Romney was up 4, 5, 6, he goes to 0 to -1, essentially. Number one, he becomes irrelevant. He was very presidential in the debates. Obama was small. That's reversed. He becomes irrelevant in the storm. Number two, Obama plays the commander-in-chief, the picture in the Situation Room. Now, where was he? In Benghazi, in the Situation Room. Separate issue. Nobody's going to ask it. But he looks like the commander-in-chief. Number three, and the biggest one, was the Christie bear hug. Here's the guy who's the most smash-mouth, in-your-face Republican, partisan, bear hugging the president, praising him how he cooperates. The weakness Obama has had with the independents has been that he's been seen correctly as the most partisan president of the last half-century. Obamacare passed without one vote on the other side as simply one example. So on 3 counts, this huge gift Obama gets.
The storm, as you said, de-emphasized what Romney was all about. Do you think that Christie knew what he was doing, the gift that he was giving the president?
Look, I'm a psychiatrist, but I don't play one on TV. So I can't tell you what's inside his head. But I can say what the effect was. That's the kind of advertising Obama couldn't have purchased with $10 million, where he gets the picture of the most partisan opponent hugging him and praising him. Now, but here's why I still think Romney's going to win. That effect will last only 3 days. Whenever you have a catastrophe, the solidarity effect is 3 days. And then you get the reality setting in. All the stories, the Long Island stories, you know about it personally, all the stuff about the abandonment, the inefficiencies, all of this stuff. Now, it doesn't redound on Obama the way it did on Bush and Katrina, because Obama's a Democrat and Katrina's and Bush was a Republican, and the media aren't going to play it up. Nonetheless, it stopped the Sandy effect. And you can see it now in the nationals. If you look at the last 4 national polls, Romney is now coming back. He's up. He's either tied or +1. So I see that, and that's as of Saturday. So you get Saturday, Sunday, today, and tomorrow, where I think Romney comes back. He doesn't come all the way back. He's not going to be +5. But the fact that he's coming back has an effect. And here's where it has the effect on the battleground states. If they're all very close, all 9 or 10 of them, and you get a swing in the national of 1% or 2 either way, then it's a bunch of dominoes. Then all of them will go one way, which is why it looks so bad for Romney on Saturday or Friday. But now that I think he's coming back somewhat nationally, you're getting an evening effect, and I think they're going to split half and half. And there are paths, easy ones, for Romney to win electorally if, as I predict, the rebound in the national poll is continuing, which I think it is.
Is there anything that Romney could have done to get himself back in the public eye with a very strong message? Because, as you know, being a sports fan, he went into the prevent defense. You know, didn't take any chances, kind of in a ground game out. Is there anything that he could have done to put himself up there, beside, of course, the big interview tonight on Monday Night Football, where they're both doing it, you know?
Once the hurricane hit, there was nothing he could do. Before, he could have done stuff, but remember, if you didn't see a hurricane coming in the future, an act of God, I mean, a lucky stroke for Obama, the Romney strategy, which was a very, as you say, it was a very conservative one, a very defensive one, was working, because he was the momentum he got in the debates while it was slowing, was still continuing, and it was clearly going to carry him over the top. But in retrospect, if you knew there was going to be this event,
yeah, you would have been
that
more
would stop.
aggressive.
Well, what you would have done is in the third debate, you would have, it's Libya where he went weak. He could have hit Obama on Libya. In the third debate, he could have hit him after. He never touched him. And the media, therefore, had an excuse to stay away from it. That, I think, would have been devastation for Obama and distraction for Obama. And that, I think, would have sealed it. But Romney played it safe.
He played it safe.
And then all
has.
of a sudden, the October surprise.
Okay. Ohio. That's where it is. I think the winner of Ohio wins the election. Do you have any special feeling for that state? Because I don't. I think Romney will take Florida and Virginia and North Carolina, based on what I've seen.
I agree.
Ohio, I can't call.
I think Ohio goes to Romney for the reasons Carl said. If you look at the early polling, Obama's way behind where he was 4 years ago.
Okay.
And the other thing is you see the intensity factor in all the polls everywhere on Romney's side, and Republicans tend to be somewhat underrepresented in the polls. You put them all together, Romney wins Ohio, one more state, and he's president.
All right, Charles, we appreciate it.